I see that the Baby Yoda thing. They did that Mandalorian show, which is Star Wars on Disney Plus, and now there's a Mandalorian movie coming out. It's called The Mandalorian and Grogu, which I guess is the name of Baby Yoda. I don't know. Star Wars to me, it's kind of like milk. I think it's like someone was just telling me that her boyfriend just got her to watch Star Wars for the first time, and she's about 30. Ooh. And I thought, nothing wrong with Star Wars in general, but I kind of firmly feel like if you're 10, that's the only time that it should really be the most important part of your life.
Agreed. Yes. Actually, it was very funny. I was one time at an event with my wife, and there's sort of somewhat annoying person who was doing all the talking, and he turned to my wife and he said, "Have you seen Star Wars?" She says, "No, she hasn't seen Star Wars." It took the wind out of his sails so quickly.
What?
And it made this guy, he basically was just like, "Oh," and I was just like, "Yeah, she's never seen it."
If you're not, I don't know what exactly is there for you if you're 30 versus if you're 5 to 15. I get it, right? They're just like fun, goofy adventure stories. When I'm an old man, I really hope I'm not worried about what's the sacred story about how they found where the little exit button is on the Death Star that blew it. Like I remember, have you seen that one, Rogue One, this prequel?
Oh, maybe.
it's like
knows?
Okay, so it
sounds familiar.
I watched that at some point because my dad is one of the people that I'm kind of criticizing here, where he loves Star Wars. It's so exciting to him whenever there's a new Star Wars thing. But he, as a kid, I watched all the original ones on, VHS. He had his VHSs that were always sort of in the rotation for things. And I remember seeing the prequels in theaters. And, in the very original Star Wars, I think, is the one where there's the first Death Star, and Luke, at some point during the climax, goes down this tunnel that just happens to conveniently lead to like a self-destruct sort of thing that if he shoots it, the entire Death Star will explode. And I guess, to me, I'm not saying that even to critique it, because you're George Lucas, you're making this movie to sell toys, basically. You've invented the synergy of merchandise and film. And, you're sort of like, well, the movie's got to end somehow. So there's like a magic little tunnel. You shoot the thing blows up. Okay, whatever. That third act's over.
Everybody
wins.
Goes home.
Yeah.
Happily ever after.
And I don't really, I know that he loves his lore, but I don't really think he thought a whole lot deeper than that when he was making that movie. But then by the time you get to Rogue One, the lore has so much reverence for people who grew up on Star Wars that it's the whole movie is this story of the people, of the martyrs who found the Death Star plans that have the secret of the tunnel that leads to the thing that if you shoot it, the Death Star will explode. And it's this solemn, reverent movie about this tragedy of the people who had to die so Luke could shoot that thing. And I'm just like, I don't think this is right. I think George Lucas just making a dumb little choice should probably not be treated like some biblical epic here by the time we make Rogue One.
It's starting to sound like the founding fathers at a certain point. It's like, listen, I know they were human, but they were superhuman. There was just huge brains and just so many ideas.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I don't feel like this is necessary.
Yes.
Again, if there's a market for it, I understand why people are doing it, but really beyond the pop culture references, there's no reason to watch Star Wars at 30 for the first time.
Yeah, in her case, it's that her boyfriend is obsessed with it. So I get also the mating ritual, the mating dance you have to do, pretending to give a shit.
Oh wow, what's that? That's fascinating. Yeah, anyone in any relationship has to feign interest to sort of get good karma.
Yeah, so
at some point, but
that's
a big sacrifice for her, because that's going to mean now that he's like, oh, good. I roped you in. You're going to want to watch all the way up to Rogue One and then the 15 movies after that.
Yeah.
So you're basically you're locked in for a roller coaster that's going to last 3 hours instead of 2 minutes.
I asked her what's she making him watch, kind of on that note. And she was like, oh, I made him watch Gone Girl. Right. And I was like, okay, well, Gone Girl's a good movie. And also it's 2.5 hours long. So I don't think that's fair. I think he's monopolizing a lot more of your time than you are by making him watch one David Fincher movie.
I thought you were going to say Gone with the Wind for a second.
That'd be fair.
That would be a really excruciating thing to have to make somebody who's a Star Wars fan sit through. They'd be like, oh,
Why don't I watch my
sorry.
favorite movie next time, like Birth of a Nation?
Yeah, it's the first. It's the first. First. It's the first film that actually had a good story.
Yeah, it's the invention of
I don't
editing.
know about that.
Isn't it really cool? It's got this cool mythology.
Yeah, it's the first narrative film, so it's really significant, and it's the first narrative film, and it comes from America, so it's American filmmaking being trailblazing. And what's that? What's the movie about? Don't worry about it.
Well, it's about this evil empire and the rebels who are fighting against. It's kind of like Star Wars.
Actually, it's exactly like Star Wars. It's just that it's just well, yeah, it's pretty much exactly like Star Wars, I guess.
It speaks for itself, although it doesn't, because it's a 4-hour-long silent film.
Yeah, but it does have good music. There's the Ride of the Valkyries in there once for like 3 minutes, so it's a great film.
I do have breaking news, actually. I'm sorry, I've just been handed a letter.
Oh, good. Hot off the press.
Hot off the press. Ouch, it's hot right off the printer.
Yikes.
Do you remember Tilly Norwood? We talked about her fairly recently. Recently born, I think you could say, the AI actress who was just signing with talent agencies.
Yes. Is she in a film now? Or are we going to go see a great Tilly Norwood film?
I wish I could say so. I wish I had better news. This is tragic news. This is from the Tilly Norwood account officially. Quote, after careful consideration, we've made the difficult decision to deactivate Tilly Norwood indefinitely and retreat from the public eye. While Tilly remains grateful for the support of her fans, the volume of negativity and criticism has become impossible to ignore. It's clear that the world is simply not yet ready. Thank you for being part of her journey. So,
wow.
Rest in peace.
So they put her down.
Rest in peace.
Put her down already, huh?
They put her down. So let's hope she's in the Oscar memoriam next year.
I would think so. I mean, she probably didn't have an illustrious career, but she's the first. Is she the first AI actress? I don't even know. I just think she's was this like kind of like jumped on the bandwagon.
Kind of like Birth of a Nation is still relevant for being the first movie to have certain editing techniques. Tilly Norwood was the first AI actress, therefore both really important parts of film history.
Yeah, wow. I mean, I guess you could say that, yeah.
Tilly
that's interesting.
Tilly Norwood's the D.W. Griffith of our age. I'm saying it first.
Wow. Yeah. Well, maybe a Tilly Norwood film will play in the White House like they did for Woodrow Wilson. They played Birth of a Nation in the White House, didn't they?
They're probably playing it right now, actually.
That's what I've heard, anyways. Oh, man. They brought it back. They're trying to bring it back. They said, you know what? We haven't had a movie screened in the White House for a long time. It's just been Fox News and burger commercials. Let's put on a movie tonight.
Yeah.
They dusted off the old reels.
Where the East Wing used to be, they put up some seats and they're just projecting Birth of a Nation on the White House wall now.
Yeah, next to one of the cranes that's just sitting there. It's been sitting there for 3 months.
Yeah. Oh, so Tilly Norwood, what I thought would be fun, I was thinking, I wonder what she has done, what work she had booked. Maybe we could watch some of her work and sort of look at it in memoriam.
Oh, that's great.
And maybe a sign of how this idea was probably not going to catch on was there are a handful of videos out there that claim to be Tilly Norwood, but they're all indistinguishable AI slop, and I can't tell what's real and official and what's not. So truly, I don't even know if she was in anything or if she is only a joke on the internet at this point.
Maybe that is part of the reason why they put her to sleep. It's because it's just like, well, anyone could just steal that person's face and just do something with it with AI. Like, you don't really... Like, you're not copywriting her looks. You know what I mean? You can't really do any, like with an actor that's a human, you actually have like a commodity, so to speak. You have talent, but with AI, it's just sort of like, cool. You have a computer and a picture of someone, but I also have a computer and can turn that same picture of someone into my own movie,
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe it wasn't necessarily just the negative backlash. I feel like they didn't really think this idea through. And then they were like, actually, we didn't think this through, but we're gonna cancel this on the grounds that we're just too far ahead of our time.
The world is not ready. Which, I mean, why you would ever stop that is because you couldn't figure out how to properly monetize it. I imagine at the end of the day,
probably, yeah. And
So,
that
yeah.
would kill anything in America.
And it did kill Tilly Norwood. She's super, super dead.
How old did she make it to as an AI thing? Just curious.
I think not even a year. I think she was in the months,
Wow.
weeks.
So infanticide. So Hollywood has committed its allegedly first infanticide, huh?
That's right. That's right.
This is tragic. Wow.
And they didn't even give her a year, which is also kind of funny to me. You come up with this idea of the first AI actress, and after 6 weeks, you're sort of like, screw it. Let's just kill her.
Yeah, honestly, it'll get better press if we kill her off, and then we figure out how to monetize this and then bring her back. But no, wait. Oh, actually, I take that back. No, they said they killed her off indefinitely, right? So she's forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's to stop me from just making Tilly Norwood myself and just being like, yeah, fuck you, it's Tilly.
You know what?
Like, is that IP? Like, could I get sued for that, or is this still too new?
This is a great question. We would need a lawyer to answer some of this, I think.
Oh man.
Let me ask an AI lawyer app really quickly.
Yeah. Ask Claude, my attorney, Claude.
Tilly Norwood is got a new AI job maybe now. She has to sort of like switch over, so she's answering legal questions as kind of just like an AI clerk at some other company.
AI clerk. From what I saw, the one picture I saw of Tilly Norwood, she looked ridiculously and unrealistically good looking. So at a minimum, Tom, she wouldn't get a job as a clerk. She'd get a job as an AI girlfriend or on the Grok platform,
Yeah.
But they did kill her off, so there's nothing they can do with that anymore. Unless literally anyone revives her.
And as I said,
do that.
You can find 1,000 videos on YouTube that seem to just be from any random account that have her. Like I clicked on one and I thought, okay, is this a real thing that she was in? I don't know. I'm watching it. And she's in this dark house and she's like, come out, ghost, or like, come out, spirit, or something like that. And she leans over next to a hole in the wall, and then just like a bunch of white goo spills all over her, and she's like, ectoplasm. And I thought, I think that is like, this is some kind of gross AI appropriation of Tilly, or this is real and this is what the kids like to watch now, and this is what content is. I honestly don't even know anymore.
Who can say, Tom? What? I'm just curious. What website was that?
It's on YouTube. I go on YouTube. I looked up Tilly Norwood. I thought, okay, there's got to be like people are interested enough in this that I'm sure I can find something that they contracted her image out to be in. And I truly don't know if there's any out there.
Wow. Okay. Because YouTube makes sense. I was just sort of thinking you were scouring the dark corners of the internet, and I was like, well, I mean, that's fine too. But
yeah,
I clicked on Tilly really.
I clicked the disclaimer that I'm 18. I put in my ID. I searched for Tilly Norwood.
Picture of my face, took a picture of my ID, took a picture of my fingerprints, took a picture of my genitals, uploaded all of them, and now I can use the internet fully. Something they can probably do in like Mozambique.
Now here's a question for you. Tomorrow is Good Friday after we record this. What are the odds Tilly dies and, like a great man before her, she rises again? Like a great man and a great bird, she rises once again, better than ever.
She could. I mean, that would be one hell of a April Fool's Day / Easter week prank,
Yeah, she
like
rises.
A terrific jape.
She resurrects, and she's got a new contract to star in the Passion of the Christ 2, the Resurrection of the Christ.
She's playing Mary Magdalene. Everyone's like, wow, don't really remember Mary Magdalene being this attractive in the first Passion of the Christ.
Wasn't it like Monica Bellucci in that first one? I mean, already Mel was sort of going for like, who's the hottest Italian woman on the planet? That's got to be Mary Magdalene.
Yeah, who's the most beautiful Italian lady who's ever... Oh, okay, yeah, she's the mother of God, or God's mother's son's best friend / most devoted disciple.
Yeah, looking for a Mary Magdalene, and she's got to fill out these very specific physical specifications. Here are pictures of the kinds of women I'm looking for. The casting director's like, Jesus, Mel, don't give me that.
He's like, exactly, Jesus. What he would have wanted. They're like, oh, okay, well, it's just that we've never really cast a busty Mary Magdalene before, Mr. Gibson.
Yeah, they're like,
going to be...
Mr. Gibson, can you give us any word other than busty to put out in the casting call, please? We really don't want to have to send that out.
Yeah, buoyant. They're like, ugh, just roll their eyes. They're like, okay, thanks, Mel. Appreciate that.
We got a listener question. I thought we could address. This is from listener Allison, who says, "Why don't we do an intro?" And I realized I probably should have led with this instead of coming up with this 15 minutes in. But I think in one or two shows we did say like, "Hey, welcome to the show. Here's the name. Here's who we are." But I guess my genuine answer is I feel kind of weird about it because in the age of podcasts, I guess maybe the Spotify algorithm can bring you to a new show after whatever you're listening to ends. But I sort of feel like 99.9% of people listening to a podcast clicked on that podcast. And I'm not really sure why I need to tell you what the podcast you just clicked on is called and who I am when it's all right there for you, you know?
Yeah, and if you're hit with the monologue, the 20-30 second monologue of like, hey everybody, welcome back to the blah 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 show. We're back here. The weather is whatever, and Tom got a new haircut. Like by the time you get through all that stuff, it just plays like an ad read. Like I skip that stuff personally. So
yeah, I too.
I would be like, yeah, skip 30. Like I know who you are. I don't care about the weather. Exactly. I know what show I'm listening to.
Or then not only that, some of these shows, they do their ad breaks and they come back and they're like, and you're listening to, Up First, the NPR pod. I guess that one would be on the radio, but there are certain ones where it's like, yeah, no, I remember before the ad break, I knew what I was listening to. After the ad break, I still remember what I'm listening to. You don't need to tell me your name again and you tell me your guest credentials once again.
Yeah, I feel like that's a relic of the radio times when it was just sort of like you'd switch to a channel and then you get to a channel that's like playing something random and you're like, what even is this? And then you just kind of hope they say the name of the show. But we don't need to do that anymore. I feel like, especially for this. I mean, if we were on NPR, then absolutely we'd be name dropping the show left and right. But we're wow, there are dozens of us,
dozens of you, and you guys all seem to know what the show is. You're finding it. I don't have to tell you what it's called every minute, but why don't I tell you? Here's the current list of all the different countries that we have listeners in, according to Substack. I'll start at the bottom, which I don't know. This tells me it's it's less than 1%. I don't know exactly how many that means, but the lowest number of listens from a country, but there are listeners in that country. Do you want to guess which one that might be? See how close you are.
You want to give me a region? I guess.
How about you guess a region? Which region would you think would be an unlikely place that we would have listeners from?
Well, English speaking, I would say probably. Just not even going off a region. I don't know.
Where are
I'm going to say Sudan, Tom.
Sudan.
I know there's a lot of people
I don't think
clamoring for our show.
I don't think Sudan is on the no, it's not on the actual list, but the actual lowest one is we have, I guess, at least one listener in Saudi Arabia.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's new. So some
Assalamu alaikum.
Would not have guessed that our content is popular there. I don't know a ton about Saudi Arabia. So I'm in no way pandering to you, but welcome.
Yeah, welcome. I've had Saudi Arabian food before, and it's outstanding. You ever had Middle Eastern food, Tom?
I don't know how like accurate any food I would have had. Like I've had food that purports to be from the Middle East. And there was an Afghan restaurant that opened up recently in Omaha, which was pretty good, and it seemed nice. Like it might plausibly be like kind of authentic, but again, I have really no point of comparison, so it might not have been at all. It might have been like General Tso's chicken,
the Afghani General Tso's chicken equivalent.
Yeah,
that's okay though. I mean, I remember one of the best kebabs I've ever had in my life was from a Afghani restaurant, and it's just like, I don't like, it's outstanding. We were at war with this country for 20 years, Tom, and America was at war with Afghanistan for 20 years. Never tried the food. First time I tried it, I was like, why the fuck do we ever bomb these people?
That's very
getting rid of this food just as we're killing people off. It's like, what are we doing?
Very Anthony Bourdain of you.
Yeah, see, Tom, I don't see people as food. I see food as people.
Yeah. And Anthony Bourdain sees two of those foods because he's totally shit-faced every time we ever see him.
He sees two of those foods and twice as many people.
Oh
Well,
man, that was a real revelation for me because like we a lot of our lives, Anthony Bourdain has been on TV, just being like the coolest guy in the world, and you're like, God, he's just having so much
yeah.
fun. As a kid, I'm like, he's just having so much fun. He's having such a blast, and then he kills himself, and then like now I watch those things, and I'm like, man, that is a guy who is drunk all the time. That guy is just like some
That
of
is a
the
guy who, yeah.
some of those episodes. He is very drunk by 35 minutes in.
He's drunk, and sometimes in those episodes, he seems very depressed. And you're like, oh, kind of feel really bad for him, At first, I thought it was just like, oh, traveling difficulties that would depress anyone. But no, I think that was his inner turmoil. But yeah, I don't know. I think that he had a lot of really good food picks, but I don't think all of them were winners. I would say,
Yeah.
a lot of those are just his personal taste buds that people sort of treat as like a reverent, holy pilgrimage site, and it's like, nah, he just was really drunk that day, and that was like the best barbecue pulled pork sandwich he had in 2 years.
He just was hungover and needed something in his stomach at some of those times.
Yeah.
I think.
I experienced this a few times in Vietnam. I would walk past the place that Anthony Bourdain recommended, and it would be a huge line. All the people there white, mostly, or fellow Asian tourists.
Bourdain,
so it's sort of like
Bourdainians, Bourdainites.
yeah, the Bourdains, the Bourdain fan club. Anyways, it's like I'm not going to wait an hour for a sandwich, so I go 3 blocks away to a also somewhat famous place. I just walk right in. I get my food in 10 minutes, and it's fantastic. And I can't imagine the other place is like that much better, because it's like what are they missing here that the Bourdain place has? And you know what they're missing, Tom? I found this out the hard way.
Okay.
They're missing being on Anthony Bourdain's program.
Yeah,
that's it.
Well, and Anthony Bourdain, I think we talked about this at some point. I can't remember if it was on the mic or not, but at a certain point, surely he was like, I have to make it seem cool because it's an episode. The whole premise of the show is I am eating at cool places, and if I go to a place and it's okay, I can't have a whole hour of the TV show be about like, yeah, this place was not great, but I did eat there today.
Yeah, you can't just be like, yeah, this was like a random place I stumbled into when I got way too drunk in a foreign country, and the food there was like, from what I could tell by all accounts, pretty good. The people were friendly. So I wholeheartedly recommend this place.
His narration's like
millions.
I drank too much the day I was supposed to get my producer the list of restaurants I like in this city, so he had to go find them on his own, and he picked 5 places that suck. But I was too drunk then to tell him about it. And I forgot that I didn't tell him about it. I forgot that I promised to tell him which one I meant to go to, and then now it's the day of filming.
Somebody made this. Okay, so this probably sounds like a out of left field comment, but basically, there's a lot of people that are saying, "Oh, Jeffrey Epstein's not dead. Jeffrey Epstein is still alive," and a lot of people have hit back with like, "Well, Anthony Bourdain kind of looked a little bit like Jeffrey Epstein. If you saw that guy walking down the street with sunglasses, you might think, oh, that's Jeffrey right there. Old New York guy, gray hair, big chin. Anyways, so basically, what I'm trying to get at is, do you think, Tom, that in some way Bourdain is like the anti-Epstein? Like he's doing international diplomacy the good way?
Well, Bourdain was a guy who liked food, and he liked he had earthly pleasures that were not evil. And I think he kind of
not exploitative either. He's just eating at people's restaurants and probably draining their bar. But, again, he's probably paying for all of that too. So it's not like a public service.
I think he's kind of this tragic story in that I think he really truly loved culture in various forms. And I think he thought if he could just only experience different cultures all the time, whether that's different cultures from like a neighborhood nearby him or in a different part of the world, that would solve something, that would fill that void that's inside of him. And he got the best job in the world by being able to go do that all the time, and it didn't fill that void at all, and he just was sort of trapped with that.
That's really interesting because I've always felt that the episode where I saw Obama and Anthony Bourdain sitting down and eating like noodles in Vietnam, that was one of the coolest things for like teenage me.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, wow, this is so cool. Like here, two titans, you know, in a communist country, by the way, eating noodles like off the street, hanging out, drinking a beer. They both kind of had like a very similar perspective of well, you know, at the end of the day, everybody's got to eat. We're all just folks.
Obama,
which is a great message.
Obama had to get the word folks in there contractually.
Yeah. But you know, at the end of the day, folks are just folks, and you know, we all like to eat, and that was really cool. But then I feel like now in the modern era, maybe like 10 years later, even a little bit more, 14, 15 years later, I don't really care what other people are eating. I mean, I like to go to other countries and try their food, but food is not going to solve international diplomacy, and I don't know. It's I guess that idea doesn't hold as much clout for me as an adult. It's like we're not going to not bomb a country because they have good food.
Yeah, people are a lot meaner and dumber than that theory of culture suggests.
Yeah, exactly. Right, because you always got this picture of everyone's really a community at the end of the day, just sitting down, trying to grill some steaks and, you know, drink some beer, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, sure, yeah, but like those people could still like want me dead and vice versa. So I guess, I don't know. I guess we are all just folks at the end of the day, eat food. But we're also just monkeys that want to kill each other for pleasure.
We all,
So both of those things can be true at the same time.
We don't care what punch the monkey eats. We want to just bully him and kick him out of our tribe.
Yeah, because honestly, if the Anthony Bourdain theory of international diplomacy, cuisine as international diplomacy worked 100% of the time, there's no way we would be bombing Iran. They have incredible food, Tom.
Can you imagine President Anthony Bourdain, and he spends as much time as he did when he was on CNN. He's just in different countries being like, I know that there's instead of a State of the Union, why don't you just watch a live stream of me going to this bar and having a couple drinks and eating some tamales?
Yeah. Why don't, we got a hurricane that just happened. All right. Well, instead of a presidential address, I'm just going to eat this bowl of drunken noodles drunkenly. and I'm going to let them know it's going to be okay. You know?
Yeah.
Honestly, that might work. I mean, people would calm down if Anthony Bourdain's eating a bowl of noodles. He's like, listen, I activated FEMA. They're going to be on the way. We got some federal relief for you guys. We got some state help on the way. I'd be like, all right, cool. You know, he must be confident. He's eating a bowl of noodles.
Yeah, right. He's not bothered by it. I mean, he's like the most burdened man in some sense. But at the same time,
unburdened.
Yeah, right. He's trying. He's like, if I just, it's like you dress for the job you want. He sort of has the energy of a guy who's not burdened, and he's hoping that might work.
Do you ever think the U.S. Would get a president like that, just a cool, down-to-earth guy? I mean, Obama was kind of that, I guess, approaching that.
I don't think Obama ever lets himself relax. Ultimately, I think again, it's kind of he way less successfully than Bourdain kind of knows what the energy of a relaxed guy is, and he can perform that. But I feel like he is always on edge.
Yeah, and I understand why. There's
Sure.
a lot of reasons why. We actually discussed one in this podcast already. But yes, I think that, I don't know, the international theory of food diplomacy is great, but if it worked, then more countries would be doing it. You know, I think it does work on some level. I mean, okay, so I guess it works as like a soft power tool, you know?
Yeah, which
like
we've abandoned.
Korean.
America has decided soft power is not a thing we care about at all anymore, I guess.
Yeah. No, we don't. We want rock hard power. We want soft power on Viagra. Yeah. Anyways, other countries still do that, but it's interesting. Like, for example, Korea. I don't know if you've ever had Korean food.
Again, I've had stuff that is labeled Korean food. I can't tell you if it's accurate or if it's not. You know, I've had various ramens and whatever.
Okay, yeah. Well, then so if you've had like Korean ramen, then that's, I mean, I'm not saying you've had all their dishes, but that's a good sample size of, you know, how spicy and all their attributes of their food. Anyways, they do food diplomacy because we're like, listen, we got to get something out there. We got to put Korea on the map. We're going to go all in on food and all in on music. And that's what they did.
Wow.
And then
winning Oscars.
Thailand. I know they're winning Oscars for it. It's like that really is like the definition of soft power, you know? And then Thailand, I learned recently, Thailand has a food diplomacy program where the government of Thailand will pay you money if you open a Thai restaurant outside of Thailand.
Wow.
And they literally will help you set it up. And their food diplomacy is basically on purpose so that people are like, oh, Thai food. Yes, I know Thai food. I love Thai food. And then, you know, you get an idea that, you know, maybe if I visit the country, I can go to the source.
They're like, we need Thai food. We need a Hangover movie, and we need a White Lotus season.
Yeah. They're like, listen, we don't care about the Oscars. We just want an HBO show, and we just want
we want Todd Phillips. We want a Todd Phillips movie.
A Todd Phillips movie, and we want everybody to know what pad Thai is. And only order that.
The diplomacy,
the other food.
The head of diplomacy got fired the second the Hangover 2 got screened for them because they're like, this is going to set back Thailand 10 years on the global stage.
You're not wrong, actually. I remember I did see scenes in the Hangover movie, and they made Thailand look like a desolate wasteland. And it's so funny. You go there, it's like a tropical jungle.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I don't know, like even what neighborhood they would have filmed this in, you know, like, I don't know. It's like they went to parts of like the most dry, arid desert in Pakistan, and they were like, all right, let's just pretend it's Thailand.
Not only that, but it's also just a painfully unfunny movie in every way.
Yeah. I mean, that's America for you, though. You know, we go to a country, no interaction with the culture. We're like, it kind of sucks here. It's a little gross. It's a little different. And then we leave. That seems to be what happens.
Well, okay, let's go to, I'll tell you some other countries that we have listeners from. So Saudi Arabia is at the very bottom of the list for now, and this might change because some of these are brand new. Mexico is the next one, followed
Bienvenidos.
by Lithuania, Austria,
achoo.
Singapore.
Achoo for your listens, Lithuania.
We're still in less than 1%, but Singapore, Italy, Spain.
Nice.
I mean, pretty nice spread here. The Dominican, the DR, I believe you're supposed to call it, the Dominican Republic.
The DR.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yes. Belgium.
Bienvenido.
Cyprus, Brazil, Sweden.
Ooh.
I mean, all. I don't know why. I don't know what are you guys doing that you're even finding this show? But again, welcome.
Yeah, welcome to all of you. This is like a who's who of the United Nations. But I'm glad you can all understand us. You probably speak English better than both Tom and I combined. To be listening to this show, at least, you can't be a sort of I'm learning English. You know, I don't know. I mean, maybe you can. Maybe if you're learning English and we're helping you, I am very happy that we could help.
Learn English with the Y2K show.
Yeah, learn English with these two guys that talk very fast and don't slow down and interrupt each other all the time. What could go wrong? Very
early in my Norwegian learning days, before I got, I think probably before I even had Duolingo, this was like 3 years ago or something. I just was looking on podcasts because I figured there's got to be people who just do podcasts where they just will teach me like a couple words in a 5-minute little episode. And I found one, and it was just called Learn Norwegian or something like that. And it was literally some guy who clearly was putting almost no effort into it, but knew he could get people like me to click on it and probably get enough clicks that he could get some ads. And so he had this very thick accent, and he'd just be like, the word for table is border, but that word for table, that is, this is welcome to learn Norwegian. We talked about table today. Then the end. And you're like, wow, that was not helpful at all. I don't even know what he said.
Yeah. Okay, now I got to look up that word, see how it's spelled.
Well, that's what I realized is a guy saying a Norwegian word in a thick accent does not tell me how to visualize that word, how to spell it, how to pronounce it.
Right. Yeah.
So I quickly had to abandon that strategy.
That's a bummer. I had a similar experience with a Chinese podcast. The first 30 seconds, they were like, all right, this is like a couple phrases you need. I was like, great. Okay. Some of these I already know. This is awesome. And that's a 10-minute episode. And then by minute 3, they're like, okay. And this is how you say, I am going to computer class today. And it's like, okay, no. I mean, this is not a beginner. Like, I don't know what sort of brain power you think your listeners have, but you can't teach people like 52 new words of the day in 10 minutes. I'm not going to retain any of that. I retained 2 words, and that was it. So I guess it worked on some level because I was just panickedly like trying to listen to it, like, oh my god, I got to remember at least one of these, you know. Yeah, just so the opposite approach is not good either. Just clobbering people with information is not going to work.
I got this one recently where I'm at the point where I get people who they're speaking Norwegian, and then my social media the algorithm will find these people for me, and so I'm trying to find some that are a little bit more casual, right? Because like I'm learning the grammar, I'm learning the official words, but that's not necessarily the same thing as the way people speak. And so there's this one guy who I keep getting, and he seems to be kind of just like a meathead, kind of weird macho guy, and he'll tell me. Like a Norwegian does not say Oslo is veldig good, veldig bra, as in like it's very good city. It's like they'll say Oslo is dritbra, which means shit good. That's how we talk. And I'm thinking like, I feel like there's probably somewhere between the very formal dictionary definition of saying this is really good, I like this city, and it's shit good, by which I mean I love it.
Yeah, like someone was learning English. And they were like, this is tasty. I'd be like, okay, well, we don't really say this is tasty. We'd say, this is fucking delicious. You know,
yeah,
that's a little bit of overkill. You know, you'd just be like, you know, maybe don't teach him the swear word too. Like if he can learn the swears separately, you know.
Yeah, it's like I'm teaching somebody English, and I'm like, if you like the coffee that you have at the coffee shop, you go to the barista and you say, this shit fucking rocks. And the guy's like, okay,
or you want to,
thank you.
You want to. Yeah, you want to sound even more like a native. Just say, this shit fucks, and just point to the coffee cup.
Yeah.
And they'll know exactly what you're talking about, and they will probably laugh.
And you stick out your tongue, make a little face at them.
Yeah. This coffee fucks, and make a little face and point at the coffee cup.
You make a little exactly. Make a humping motion.
Yeah. See, that's the thing I'm always worried about. I'm always worried about like, okay, is this really how people say this, or is this the too slang version? You know, is this too informal, or is this just not relevant? You know what I mean? Like there are words in English that I don't even think I've heard grandparents of mine say, and then I'll be like, wow, I guess that just kind of exists in the ether. You know,
mellifluous.
Yes, mellifluously. I'm sure Shakespeare knew what that word meant, but I did not.
I came across that in something, and I was shocked to hear it. And it was, you know what it was? I've been listening to this great courses thing about the history of music. And so it's this professor of music, like old ancient music. And he's talking about the music that the ancient Greeks would use to accompany the plays. And he said something. It was a very mellifluous tune. And I thought, okay, that guy knows what that means. Me listening to that in context, I still don't really know what it means.
Yeah. Me listening to that in context, just going, wow, this guy knows big words. It's incredible. Was this any chance Dr. Peter Pringle, the man who did the Epic of Gilgamesh?
No, I wish it was.
Oh, man. To have him as a guest on our show, for those of the listeners who are probably scratching their heads right now, Dr. Peter Pringle is the preeminent man who knows how to read cuneiform and can sing in I guess old Semitic languages. So if you ever wanted to hear the Epic of Gilgamesh, check out Dr. Peter Pringle. And if you're listening to this, Dr. Pringle, we would love to have you on the show someday.
Do you think he is the heir to the Pringle fortune? His dad invented the chips, maybe, and he was sort of like, I want nothing to do with this consumerism. I want to learn culture, going all the way back to the beginning.
And then his dad's like, well, you got potato chip money to do that now, son.
I made the potato chip so you could get this degree, son.
Yeah. I made my potato chip fortune so my son could learn how to sing ancient Uruk hymns about the goddess Inanna.
I invented all kinds of addictive chemical properties that have worsened the health of the nation, of the world, so that my son could get a doctorate and learn Gilgamesh's song.
These salted potato crisps have paid for my son's foothold in the academic community as a well-respected man.
Yeah, his dad's chomping on chips, and he's like, "Would you like to hear the latest translation of Gilgamesh, or it's not the anti-translation. I think it's even closer to the original of Gilgamesh's Lament. And his dad is sort of like, yeah, I guess I don't like,
Sure.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah. He pops the lid off of the chips. He starts crunching the chips. Peter, his son's like, Father, you can't be making those. They would not have had potato chips in ancient Mesopotamia, Father. And he says, oh, well, you're making your sounds and I'm going to make my sounds. My sounds are the crunch of money, the crunchy. Every time I hear the crunch noise, I think cha-ching. That's money for my sons. That's money for my son's education. This is like the most supportive sort of like tycoon I could think of. Because, you know, when a tycoon has a son that wants to be, you know, an actor or like a Rockefeller, and they want to go to Papua New Guinea and they want to go study the local people, like usually the family's not very supportive of these things.
Peter, when are you going to take over my Pringle company and knock it off with all this Gilgamesh bullshit?
Peter, when the hell are you going to get back from school? Haven't you learned enough of those silly little clay tablet songs?
Peter, you're 70 years old. I think it's time you take over the company from me.
His father's 97. Listen, Peter, I only have so much left.
Peter,
so much left in the tank.
Peter, think of how many new flavors you can come up with for other kind of Pringles, you know, like a Pringle that tastes like, I don't know, a vape, whatever the kids are tasting these days. There's so many more flavors we haven't figured out, and that's what I'm leaving for you, not Gilgamesh.
Peter, I want you to use Gilgamesh to make the Pringle Empire even more powerful. I want you to study the Game of Thrones that they play in Epic of Gilgamesh, so you know how corporate politics work. So you can release a new squid flavored Pringle in Singapore next year when we finally release the new flavors.
Dad, I just want to be my own man. This 75-year-old guy is saying.
He's screaming at his elderly father. Oh boy. Well, the Pringle family sounds like a not very fun to be in, but they sound very fun to sort of observe.
All right, back to our list here. We're out of the less than 1%. So these are single-digit percentages. We have Germany, the UK, Canada. A big portion are unknown, so I guess that's VPNs of some sort.
Ooh. They were using the service that you used earlier, looking up all that Tilly Norwood information, right?
That's right. And then about 80% are the old USA, United States of America.
Okay. Well, that does make me feel good, Tom, because we make a lot of United States references here, you know, in our show. And so I do sometimes wonder if, you know, the poor people who are listening from, let's say, Lithuania, they're like, what the hell is Sears? You know, I don't really know what TJ Maxx is. Can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
Oh yeah, that might be a deep cut. I didn't think about that.
That's okay. Actually, speaking of all of our international listeners, I was thinking we could do a little international segment here.
Oh, okay, yeah, go for it.
I have some idioms that are from different languages that seem kind of funny. So we can go through.
Are you going to make fun of these cultures, these other cultures, Will? Because if there's one thing we don't do on the Y2K show, it's make fun of cultures.
No, I would never make fun of these cultures, Tom.
Okay,
it's a respectful endeavor.
Okay, I want you to show us as much respect for whatever you're about to say, whatever cultures you're about to reference, as Peter Pringle does to Gilgamesh, Enkidu, and the various other people of Sumeria.
Yes, I will give these the due reverence that they deserve.
Good.
Should we? Okay, I'll let you pick the country that we start from, though. We got the top 4 contenders are Chinese, German, Russian, or Spanish idioms.
Let's go Russian. Let's start with the Rusland.
The Rusland. Okay. So the first Russian idiom is to hang noodles on the ear. And that just sort of means, what would you assume that means, actually?
So if I
was like, Tom, you're hanging noodles on my ear right now.
Am I telling you things you don't want to hear? I'm sort of like, you know, putting stuff in or on your ears that you don't want. I'm not totally sure.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Actually, it's to kind of in English we would say to pull someone's leg. So to kind of to prank them almost to sort of waste their time, sort of be a jerk. Actually, I never really when somebody does a prank on you or says I'm just pulling your leg. We never consider that that's actually quite a bit annoying. But
all right, give me an idiom from China. Let's go to China.
Okay. We are going down to China.
Punching down to China.
Punching down to China, where honestly they have the best ones, Tom. I'm going to be completely honest with you. There's
biased.
4 of them, and we need to do all of them.
China
this is a bias because I know I'm a China shill, but damn it, they have some funny things that they say. Okay, anyways. Okay, so the first Chinese language idiom, Tom, is to, quote, kill the chicken to scare the monkey.
There's some kind of.
What do you think that means?
Some kind of threat. You have to give up something that you do care about to ward off a bigger problem.
Yes. See, that's the beauty of the Chinese idiom, Tom. It transcends language boundaries. It's exactly it. You're sort of making an example out of someone to threaten other people. So, but that came across to you, and you got it. So, I guess that's a successful idiom.
As someone who has chickens, if a monkey were to approach, and if I were to kill one of my chickens and give it to the monkey, I think the monkey would learn to come back for another chicken.
Yeah, I think you've just showed the monkey that you're a source of food. Actually,
this monkey's it's coming for its General Tso's chicken from me. I'm just kind of a restaurant, more or less. And it's sort of like, I'm going to the market, honey. I'm going to go get a chicken. I'll be back. We can make dinner and then watch the sunset.
Your wife comes home after a week-long business conference. And there's like 16 monkeys on your back porch.
Yeah. Where are all my chickens and why are there 16 monkeys here? And I'm sort of like, well, it started with this Chinese idiom. I don't know. I got kind of lost in the weeds on it.
Yeah. I thought I was supposed to kill these chickens to scare the monkeys away, but turns out I was just giving them free food. So they told all the other monkeys to come back.
Yeah. They kind of won't leave now. I'm out of chickens, but they won't leave until I give them a chicken. And there's a little bit of a language barrier, a species language barrier. I'm not sure how to convey to them that the chickens are gone.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how to tell them this, but I've completely run out of chicken. Anyways.
Okay. So Germany. Let's go to Germany.
Okay, I just want to do one more. Okay, there's was
there a Germany one, or did I make that up?
No, there is Germany.
Okay.
Let's see here. Okay, let me see. Let's go to Germany. Let's go over to Germany, one of our esteemed country listeners. Okay. This is my favorite one.
Okay.
Oh, no, actually, no. No, I'm not going to say that this is my favorite one and then say it because it's not my favorite in the conventional sense, but it is such a funny German expression that it's just sort of like, okay, that one takes the cake for entertainment value, let's say. Okay, so this expression in Germany goes, if only the Führer knew.
I knew there was going to be something like that. Okay,
there just has to be,
So the phrase you'd be saying something. If only the Führer knew. Is this kind of like how there are certain topics that we have to sort of dance around because we don't want our president to know about them, or like certainly a joke that I have made many times when I travel or travel internationally is you're sort of like got to make sure that my phone is wiped of any meme of Vice President Vance, or else we can't travel. Is it something in that vein, or am I way off?
Yeah, it's in the same general vicinity. It's basically like, if only they knew. It's sort of like, yeah, I guess in America a good comparison would be like, oh yeah, the price of gas is insanely high, and then somebody could say, yes, if only the president knew. So it's got the same energy. Basically.
Those Germans, they come up with a lot of great ideas and a lot of bad ideas. You gotta get the whole spectrum with them.
Yeah, you get a lot of interesting stuff from Germany. Okay, so I think I have another one here.
Did you know? Speaking of Germans, Werner Herzog, he was in that the very first episode of the Baby Yoda show, and
oh, that's right.
Most interesting,
I don't know why.
Maybe stunt casting that Star Wars has ever done. Where the Werner Herzog be like, "Show me the Baby Yoda. I would like to see the little Yoda man."
May I speak to it? May I address it as Baby Yoda, or should I call it something different?
Yeah. I'm just going to call him Baby Yoda because I don't care about this Grogu nonsense.
I was going to call him Your Excellency, but then I realized it is only the baby Yoda. It's not the full-grown Yoda. So does he deserve the Excellency, is my question.
Why is there only the one who has massacred all the other Yodas? He's sort of getting dark with that German darkness is coming through. Where did the genocide of the Yoda people happen?
Yes, when and how did he become the last one of his whole species? Because there's not another single Yoda in all of the Star Wars, in all of the galaxies. So how what happened to his family?
He's talking to Jon Favreau, who's just like, yeah, Yoda's cool. And I thought, what if we have like a little toy we could sell? And he's like,
Jon Favreau is like mayonnaise dripping off of his hands off the sandwich that he's eating just while he's raw dogging a sandwich, talking to Werner Herzog, mouthful of food.
Herzog's like, the Grogu is not in the traditional Star Wars, and it's a tragedy to me that he must die a brutal death before we get to that timeline. His time is not long in this galaxy.
I made a pact with George Lucas that if I was ever to be on Star Wars, it would have to be with Yoda, and it would have to be his origin story.
Yeah,
that is such an odd cast. Did you see it with him in there? And
I saw
it better just because it's Werner Herzog. And
I watched a clip of him on it. I don't care enough to. I'm not going to get Disney Plus to watch this Baby Yoda show. I'm sorry. Again, as we bring things full circle, I'm an adult. I got better things to worry about.
Yeah, like the price of oil. I was gonna say, like, is he in a lot of episodes? Like, is he a mentor to Yoda? You know, and then you sort of like, oh, okay, I get why Yoda's wise. He had an old German man with a way too much perspective, sort of give him his worldview.
Baby Yoda said his first words. He said, "If only the Führer knew."
Yes, he said, "If only the Führer knew." And I said, "Wow, you have been listening. You listen very well. You should become a therapist."
Yeah. I think he's only in the
Apologies to all of our German listeners and Austrian listeners. We're not making fun of you. We just love your accents because we're American, and any accent besides a couple of people sound like their mouths are full of potatoes, which I'm told is what the American accent sounds like to Germans. It just sounds interesting to us, so we're not making fun of you.
We're getting a flood of bad reviews that say this is not what Bavarians sound like.
Yes, they're butchering the accent so badly.
They're doing such good impressions, except of us.
Yeah. Man, when they were doing that Italian impression, I was laughing. But when they're doing the German impression, I was like, no, nine. It's not funny.
Nine. Yeah, let's go all in on this. Let's really offend them.
Yeah, if the Führer really knew.
Okay, where was our other idiom from? I forget the last country.
Okay, so we went through China, we went through Russia, we went through Germany, and now I think we have Spain.
Oh, yes, Spain. That's right. And it's a shame that Courtney is not here. Courtney's on assignment once again, learning about women. She will report back about the female race one of these weeks. But okay, Spain. What are they saying in Spain?
Okay, so a saying in Spain is, should I do it in Spanish? Because we have a lot of Spanish listeners.
Sure, although I don't know that I will. I mean, my Spanish is not advanced, I'll say. I remember some Spanish.
Okay. Do you think they care? Do you think anyone cares?
Maybe. Try it. Go for it. Let's try it in Spanish first. We'll see if I can pick it apart, and then we can try it in English.
Okay, this is fun because I speak a bit of Chinese, you speak a bit of Norwegian, but because we're American, we both had to learn a bit of Spanish. So
not Spanish from Spain. We were told, don't worry about the Spain section. Skip that.
You know, that's unfortunate because this is actually a Spain Spanish.
Yeah. Well, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Lo siento.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't make the rules either. Okay. So the quote is this: Cuando hemos comido en el mismo plato.
Is that the whole thing?
What do you think?
El finito.
That's the whole thing.
Cuando is when or how. Something about a meal on a plate. Can you say it one more time for me?
Yeah. Cuando hemos comido en el mismo plato.
The meat, or the meal in my plate. When when something about the meal on my plate, mismo. God, I don't know.
You're right there. You're right there. It's basically, when have we ever eaten from the same plate? And it's a Spanish idiom. And what do you think it means?
That we don't generally agree about things. Like, why would you expect us to agree? When have we ever eaten from the same plate?
Actually, it's a step further than that. It's somebody that takes too many liberties and causes irritation. It's basically sort of saying like, "Hey, why don't you just help yourself to the food on my plate?"
Yeah,
I think it's kind of the vibe.
We're always showering together. We're always sharing the same shower.
No, come over to my house, sleep in my bed. Why not? It's sort of that, I think. Sort of, no, it's fine. Just eat dinner from my plate too. Fuck it. And I like that. I really like that.
Yeah, that's a mean. I like that. Sometimes it's nice to learn how to be kind of mean in another language, because most of what you learn is just very sort of pleasant and happy.
Yeah, I like learning the slightly mean ones. There's actually a very funny, slightly mean Chinese one if you want to learn it, Tom.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It's more of a curse than an idiom. It's more of like something you say to somebody when you're like, "Hey, F off."
Okay, good. Yeah, I intend to say that one day. In Chinese.
To a Chinese person?
I don't know. Well, if the future is Chinese,
off the cuff, you just have you're like, listen, I have a vendetta here. It's very personal. Don't ask questions.
Yes, there's one Chinese man who I will get back at.
Yeah.
No, if the future is Chinese, and if the American erosion of soft and hard power continues at the pace it's currently going at, and we all are speaking Chinese, as the fearmongers have told me for many years, maybe I will be talking to a fellow Nebraskan, and I will want to tell him to fuck off, but we'll both be speaking Mandarin.
That'd be great. That would be perfect. Okay, so this expression, I'm not even going to attempt in Chinese. I could try it, but it's going to be rough and harsh to the ears. It's not going to sound beautiful and melodious.
Okay.
But anyways, the gist of it in English is, may you have a child without an anus.
Oh.
What do you think that means?
A child that's full of shit, a child that has health problems. I feel like there's a few different ways you can read it. It's very clearly mean, right? It's not a nice wish, because usually you'd wish nice things upon somebody's child.
Yeah, it's just like such a specific thing for a child not to have that would just so wreck their life. They'd probably live about as long as Tilly Norwood with some sort of issue like that.
That's right. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. From the cradle to the grave, as I say, in the AI actor biz industry.
All right. One last thing I want to talk about as we get to the end here is this new HBO Harry Potter show. I don't know how much Harry Potter really mattered to you as a kid. It wasn't really a big deal for me, but it was, it was on, like all those movies came out over the past, they were like 2000 to 2012 or something. Those were coming out. The books were out before that. Big deal. I've seen all of the movies. I still sometimes, because my wife is a big Harry Potter fan, I've seen them on TV in bits and pieces many times. I always sort of get to a point where I'm like, well, there's like a lot of good actors. There's some good craft in this. But then I'm sort of like, I still don't really get why this Voldemort guy wants to kill some teenager and take over a high school. I don't really understand the overall plot or what the threat is. But overall, I kind of feel like, kind of like Star Wars. It's a kids thing. It's for kids. People watch it at the right age. Good for them. I feel like those movies are probably as good as that was ever going to be, without it being something that really matters to me. But HBO is rebooting it, and people have complicated feelings. Do you have any complicated feelings about the upcoming show?
Honestly, none whatsoever. Just because my only interaction with Harry Potter as a child was that I was told it was evil.
Yeah,
I was told that Lord of the Rings was a good substitute for Harry Potter because they had magic in it, but it was an acceptable type of magic for the Christian community. So I saw the last Harry Potter movie in theaters with no context with a group of people. And they were all crying. And I was just sort of like sitting there like, yeah, this is, I guess I needed a bit more content. I was just trying to fit in with the group, and I didn't want to be like, oh, I've never seen any of it. So I just kind of along for the ride, but very much confused. I was just sort of like, oh, I guess there's a little elf thing that's going to die named Dobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
We gotta.
So
We
I
should
don't
ask
really care,
Courtney,
but
maybe she can explain, because the thing I always get stuck on is like, okay, so this big bad Voldemort guy. I guess I don't know if he's taking over the world or if he just really wants to take over his high school, which kind of seems like loser coded to me. And I've never quite got over that, and nobody seems to be able to really explain it to me.
So Voldemort is the bad guy, and he's the one that's like the ultimate bad. He's, according to Harry Potter lore, he's shall not be named, right? He's
Yes.
so evil you can't even say his name.
But the most evil thing he does seems to be limited to he's going to destroy this school, and all his cronies are going to like take over the school building. And I guess I always sort of feel like doesn't he have something better to do? Like he's not taking over the world. He's like, if I become evil and I just like take over my high school, is that really that evil at the end of the? I mean, it's weird. It's a strange thing to do.
It is weird, yeah. I don't know. Does he do anything else? He's just trying to wreck the Hogwarts school the whole time, or does he like F off in one of the movies and he's like causing havoc in like a neighboring kingdom or whatever they have in this?
Well, they seem to have, it's like a kind of normal world, except that you can go to the wizarding part of it, I guess, and normal people are unaware of the wizard part. But I don't know. Having seen the movies many times, I'm always still sort of scratching my head because I'm like, I don't even really get what he's trying to do or why he wants to kill this teenager. But all that aside, HBO is rebooting it, not seemingly because there's any new ideas, but because it's, a very popular franchise. And so they want to make money from there being a reboot of a very popular IP. And J.K. Rowling, because she demands to tweet mean things all day, has sort of turned off the original cast. I'm sure they would have loved to have done the Star Wars thing where it's like, here's adult Harry Potter. We'll continue the Potter, saga with another trilogy. Sure. But Daniel Radcliffe and all those people, I think reasonably are sort of like, I don't really want to be a part of this. I've made tons of money. I'm very famous. I'm just going to go do whatever I want from now on. So they've done a full reboot, kind of. If you watch the trailer, an interesting thing is it's Hogwarts, kind of looks exactly the same. They're using the same costumes. They've cast people who look exactly like all the ones in the original movies. So it's like a reboot, but it's sort of just like, yeah, but it's also kind of a shameless cash grab because we don't want to actually reinvent anything. Maybe also because we have our the like Hogwarts world at Universal Studios is already built, so we can't really like redo the sets either. So it's like this weird no man's land of not quite a reboot, but also we had to recast everybody.
You can maybe explain this controversy, but I saw a picture of Snape, right? Professor Snape,
Alan Rickman in the movies, the incomparable Alan Rickman.
Right, yeah, and then they have a different person playing him, right? And then I think different ethnicity than the original Snape, and people are. Is this a fake screen grab that I got rage baited into?
No, I think it's real.
Care about
all the
that I don't even care about.
They all look kind of like they just look like everyone's at a Hogwarts themed Halloween party, don't they?
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's kind of the vibe that I was. I mean, again, I don't have any problem with the casting. I don't even care about any of this, but I just thought that was interesting, and I was sort of like, is that the angle? Like, why reboot the show without an angle? Like,
yes.
Is that the angle?
That's the question.
Is the angle to make them look cool and young? And then it's sort of like, we're appealing to like new Harry Potter generation. I don't know. Like, what do you think the reason for the reboot besides the cash grab?
I think it's a cash grab why are they
for the sake of the cash grab?
For a lot of people involved, certainly. I'm not going to say all the like crafts people or all the actors necessarily are soulless about it exactly. Right. But when you can't be bothered to like give them new costumes, even, I mean, like, okay, think about something like Batman. We've seen a lot of different Batman reboots. They all have a different take, right? Not all great, not all that interesting, but at least like Batman has a different feel. Whereas this is just sort of like, yeah, remember that thing you liked? Here's more of the same, but it's also kind of a little different.
Yeah, I don't know. That seems to be what executives are doing with everything now. They're just like, any sort of ounce of nostalgia I can milk from this, from an elder millennial and or somebody with like a little bit of disposable income. I'm just going to do it. I think that's why. No, I mean, I don't know any personally, but I know Disney adults are a big thing, and they spend a ton of money on their Disney obsessions.
Yeah.
And it's just to feed their inner child, I guess, because otherwise, like, why would you spend $6,000 to go to Disney when you could go to Tokyo for a lot longer for the same price.
My main thought
And
was,
actually, they have a Disneyland in Tokyo. You could go to that one too while you're in the fucking country for vacation.
my main thought was, if you're going to reboot Harry Potter in the 2020s, I think the most interesting angle that you could throw in there would be it's kids in the 2020s versus kids in the 90s or early 2000s. One thing that they have that the kids 20 years ago didn't have is cell phones, smartphones. So don't you think today at Hogwarts, the kids would all just be scrolling on TikTok and having a great time? And then Professor Snape or whoever comes in and they're like, all right, now we're going to learn spells and magic. And they all sort of roll their eyes and they're like, oh, God, magic. I just want to look at my phone.
I just want to see what magic talk, what TikTok is up to when it comes to learning new spells.
Yeah, like,
is that what you're saying?
Kind of like
kids are just gone.
Yeah, everybody today now is sort of they're like aghast at the concept of having to like engage with any ideas that aren't fed to them by their algorithm. But in Hogwarts, I think could be fun.
That would be fun. You could even come up with some silly little Hogwarts tech that sort of replicates the phone. You know, like a little projector wand or like a little, I don't know, whatever. And then you have a funny scene where you get all the, you get Professor. Whatever the old lady,
McGonagall, something like that.
McGonagall,
McConaughey, Professor McConaughey.
Professor McConaughey, whatever she says. But she, she has like a little. She brings all the teachers to the break room. She's like, "Listen, we got to do something about the phones. I know we just got back for the semester, but like these phones are ridiculous. We got to get them out." So then they could have a funny scene where they're maybe confiscating all the 3D projection wands, and then the next scene in the classroom is just them all just mindlessly staring at the teacher but not comprehending anything. Yeah, because they're just staring at their phones and not comprehending anything. So
Professor Matthew McConaughey has to do a spell to get them to use their brains. Everybody's been brain dead. They got their phones out. He's not even British. He's just Matthew McConaughey being Matthew McConaughey.
He's like, interruptus unduus. Yeah. We're gonna make sure that you guys are locked in on this lessons.
You all looking at your phones instead of learning about magic. Be a lot cooler if you didn't. He's just doing Dazed and Confused references. No, absolutely nobody gets it.
All right. Welcome to good morning, everybody. This is your principal, McConaughey. Happy to be doing the PA announcement since the guy who normally does it is sick. So I was super happy to fill in. Anyways, kids, if we could really get off those projected phone wands, that'd be great.
Harry Potter, it's the Hogwarts in Texas. We're really happy that it just opened, and I'm happy to be the principal here.
Texas Hogwarts.
American Harry Potter.
That'd be so funny. That would be really interesting. Texas. What do you think a Texas Hogwarts would look like?
Super
Probably not
trashy.
A castle, right? It could be a ranch. It'd be like Epstein's Zorro Ranch in New Mexico. It just looks like a big, giant, creepy house in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Electricity's out.
Where we take all the kids, teach them magic. You're just like, oh, Jesus.
The kids. I mean, a trashy Harry Potter would at least be a new take. It's like white trash American Harry Potter as opposed to the kind of like weird medieval vibe of the original Hogwarts.
Harry Potter is fun, but like it's sort of like so worn down. You know what I mean? Like you got to have some new, fresh something in there. You can't just keep rebooting the exact same thing. I mean, am I wrong? Does that work? Do people who like Harry Potter, they're like, fuck it, there's a new Harry Potter thing, I'm down?
I'll tell you, my wife's reaction is outrage, betrayal.
Oh no,
this is absurd that you would take something so holy and defile it like this. And also, I will watch every episode. I will watch every second of it.
It's rage engagement.
Yes.
Okay.
Which might be a great strategy. Maybe they're onto something there.
Honestly, I feel like that's what it is for everything. You're just like, how fucking expensive are these bananas? Okay, well, maybe they're okay. I'll get one because maybe they're pretty good. There's no way you could charge $3 for a banana, and it can't be amazing, right?
I'm trying to think: is there like any actor you could throw in there who would just be so out of left field that I would be like, okay, I gotta watch. I gotta see what that looks like. And it's probably not Matthew McConaughey, despite
it's not.
Yeah.
But if they peppered in some Werner Herzog, I would even watch that show because I'd be like, all right, I want to see what Werner Herzog is. What sort of wisdom an old German Austrian man is imparting on young wizards of the next generation, you know?
I'm here to talk about the magic. He's the coach. He's the I forget the sport they play. The sport where they're flying around on their broomsticks. I'm here.
Quidditch.
I used to be the Quidditch champion of Hogwarts, and I am here to coach you.
Yeah.
I fell from my broom 15 years ago and I broke my hip. And unfortunately, this injury has meant that I can never compete ever again. So I am just an embittered coach who wants what's best for his students and lives vicariously through them.
I can do more push-ups than you still.
You don't think that I can still get on a broom if I wanted to?
He dies first episode.
He dies trying to prove to the kids that he's still got it, even though he's really very much an old man.
See, like, okay.
Oh, man. See, that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
I would watch that because it's like, wait, you're telling me Werner Herzog gets killed off in the first episode? I would 1,000% watch that. It's just like, make it interesting in some, like, don't just make the character like, oh, what if this character was Chinese? Like, no one cares. Like, that's not enough.
Yeah.
So I understand the outrage, but you know, this is a 10 times better idea than anything they're doing already.
Well, because that world would be populated with a lot of strange people. So if it's just kind of like, you get the whatever the plot's happening, but I don't need to see a 250-page book stretched out to 10 hours. But if there's like a bunch of weird little side adventures with the strange people in the weird world of magic, that could be fun.
Yeah, like there's not already like a bunch of weird characters in there. You can't just make up a new one, you know? I don't know.
Okay, so Werner Herzog, Matthew McConaughey. Who else is getting hired by Hogwarts this year? If we were in charge.
Okay, well, Helen Bonham Carter was she in the original one?
Yeah, she was some crazy lady.
Okay. Who would be the crazy lady now? Wait, Emma Stone. She's really good at doing crazy stuff.
The show is super
She's been killing it.
Super R-rated. Emma Stone, because Emma Stone and Yorgos Lanthimos are going to put so much sex in this Harry Potter show.
Yeah, it's just going to be a steam room of episodes.
Harry, I am going to watch Poor Things during practice, but you should not look at my phone when I do so.
Actually, after practice, everyone, I'll be watching Begonia, but it will be privately in my car.
You're just like, no context, and then he just leaves, and then, you know, the Harry Potter kids are like, okay, that was weird. Anyways, let's go do some spells or whatever the fuck else they kill time with. See, that would be excellent because it's just like, I don't know, like that would also be interesting too, because I would imagine as a kid nowadays, I mean, I'm not a child, so I don't know. This is just speculation from an adult that doesn't know. But like, I would imagine if you're a kid nowadays and the Jeffrey Epstein stuff is on everyone's mind, and everything, like you're just thinking as a kid that every adult person is probably pretty weird or a little bit weird, you know,
or could
like,
be.
I don't know. Like the world, maybe not. Maybe no one's like, oh yeah, before the Jeffrey Epstein files, everything was great.
You're saying basically
know,
there used to be kind of a naive whimsy that the Harry Potter kids might have had that might be a little more cynical as they look at the world today.
Exactly. You know, the sort of approach that seeing stuff on TikTok would have given them if they were, you know, that basically they're more jaded. They don't care. They care even less. And they're apathetic about everything.
That's why they
have to inspire those kids.
They just want their phones.
They take the whole season. And then we turn to the executives and we're like, anyway, so that's our pitch. Let us know what you think. Hoping hope to hear from you soon.
Yeah, our take on Harry Potter is it's True Detective and it's Poor Things and Werner Herzog is a big part. The 85-year-old Werner Herzog is going to be one of the main stars.
Werner Herzog will eclipse Dumbledore in terms of the most beloved character on that show within 4 or 5 episodes, guaranteed.
Oh my god, I love like, okay, so Werner Herzog is Dumbledore. Like, no, Werner Herzog's this new pervert coach that we came up with, who's also going to get top billing.
No, he's like sort of he's like the PE athletics coach, but he knows a couple spells, but they're mostly just like how to get like how to get like more bungee cables to appear and more like balls and ropes to show up for activities. He's no magic for doing anything beyond just activity, children's activity related.
Wow.
And he's super into Emma Stone.
Yes.
And, that's his character.
And we have not approached Emma Stone. We're not making up a character for Emma Stone. We're just going to make it he's obsessed with the real person Emma Stone, and we're going to hope that she does not have a problem with that.
We like to think that Emma has a good sense of humor, so we hope that she'll just take that one, laying down. And
we hope to think that. We hope that. We don't want to actually find out by reaching out to her people in case she says no, though.
Yeah, it's that expression, better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yeah, there's what's a good idiom we could say for that? Better to
have a child without an anus than to. Oh man.
Better to have a child without an. This is one of his lessons. The thing about playing Quidditch. The thing about playing Quidditch. Quidditch? Yes, Quidditch. Yes. Whatever you want to call it is fine.
Care. He's in charge of the PE class, but he doesn't even care.
It is better to have a child without an anus than to. He just sort of drifts off. Long time goes by.
Who starves with.
Coach.
And then it just.
Coach. Anyway, why don't you go run some laps?
I was sorry. I was just remembering a very old memory I had from the war when I lived in Switzerland.
Do you remember this movie Superbad with the young Emma Stone in it?
I love that. I had a VHS of Superbad, and I wore it down because I watched so many times. I was like, wow. Is this an angel on earth, or is this Emma Stone?
She was very mean in this Nathan Fielder show, The Curse. Very, very interesting commentary on the liberals of the day. And the kids are like, "Can we play Quidditch though at some point?"
And then we hear the. Yeah, I'm gonna need Professor Herzog to the office, please. Thank you.
Damn! I thought I could
again.
Yeah. Something to look forward to on Harry Potter Season 1. All right, one last thing before we wrap up here. Our new sponsor is the George W. Bush Substack. We're a proud sponsor of one of our most eloquent... Well, okay, I'll say this. In the 21st century, honestly, truly, not one of the least eloquent public speakers and thinkers and formers of thoughts that we've had as presidents. Now he's got a Substack. So who knows what he will be posting, stacking, restacking, etc. there. Really excited to be in partnership with him.
Yes. One of the famous sayings. There's an old saying in Tennessee. It goes like this. There's an old saying in Tennessee. I know, actually, it's in Texas. Wait, probably in Tennessee. That says, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, you can't get fooled again." And that's a quote from Substack, discussing foreign policy, I believe.
One last idiom.
So there's one last idiom there. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, you can't get fooled again.
Beautiful stuff.
I don't know if that one would transcend language barriers, though, Tom. For example, if we translated that into Chinese, it might just be gibberish.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the genius of it is even in English, it doesn't really make sense, let alone if you were to translate it.
Is it really genius, though? Or is it more...
it's a fine line between genius and
yeah.
Idiom, idiocy, comme ci, comme ça.
Let's say this is our sponsor. So there's a big line, and he did not step over it. It is genius, and we greatly appreciate sponsorship money.
Big red line in the sand. Yeah.
Yeah. We definitely appreciate the George W. Bush Substack Foundation memorial money. We'll be in touch with all of our listeners separately to mail out the additional checks, because as I understand, Tom, we're getting paid we're getting paid to plug this sponsor, but also our listeners will get paid too at some point. Is that right?
It's unclear. As with the idioms, there's a lot of words and ideas, and they might be out of order. They might be sort of
that makes sense.
Leaping from concept to concept. We'll see. I'm along for the ride.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot more sense, because I was sort of reading our contractual obligation, and it sort of looked like I mean, again, I wasn't reading it very well, but the way it was written, I was sort of like, wait, so they're cutting checks out for each and every single one of our listeners. Anyways, so if you're still listening by this point, if you know anyone and you're like, hey, this is a great show, potentially there are some checks from the George W. Bush Substack Foundation Memorial that could be headed your way. So just another friendly incentive to listen to our show and, learn more about it and maybe even get paid for it.